Oh.
And welcome everyone to This Week I'm Learning, the podcast where us idiots all get together and enjoy talking to you about random things that we've learned throughout the week. I have already a glass of wine in. Uh, this is a drinking episode and a discussion episode, and yes, prepare for chaos and insanity. But if you're a gamer, this episode might be one that hits home with you. We're going to be discussing kind of like the first games we remember playing, our favorite games, like anticipated game releases, current games we're playing, what things we want from the game industry, land sales in games, online gaming abilities, online versus standalone. And then somewhere in there, we're going to talk about our favorite like gaming moment, and this could be either like video games or like D&D or board games or whatever. I know Tim said he had a pretty good one for D&D. I also have a pretty good one for D&D that at least two members of this group have been involved in. But yeah, so anyway, this is episode 60, recorded September 13th, 2021. I'm your host, Brandon Vader, also known as Dracanis, down below me. Colton Roper, also known as Seeker4761. That's the ounces of alcohol that will be consumed tonight by the group of five.
Oh God.
In the first 10 minutes, hopefully.
I need an IV. God damn it.
I'm the wet noodle.
Next to me, that direction is Charlie Stiffler, also known as Muehlner. Down below him, Tim Rhind. I actually remembered his last name this week.
Yep.
Also known as Fake Farang. And then all the way that direction, catty corner to Tim, is Cody Stratman, also known as Psycho Nitrous. So, how are all you fine folks doing today?
Pretty good.
Sober. For now.
Well, let's
apparently.
change that. Let's change that.
right.
Yes, let's.
Fucking fix that.
Slightly,
by the way,
slightly
I woke up
less
not too
than
long ago.
sober,
I don't
but-
think you mentioned that this is the last episode of season 2. Pro.
It's true.
That is correct.
Well done, boys. We've
Sláinte.
been
Salud.
committed for 60 of something, so well done.
Yeah. It's over a
it's
year.
gonna be a rough day.
Oh God, Cody, what are you drinking?
And this is what I
Cough
have
syrup.
to mix with it. And
Oh,
I don't have a
no.
glass.
That looked like Drano. for
Okay,
a
so you
second.
have blue Gatorade and is that
Sang-song.
butter schnapps?
No,
No,
it's,
that is
it's a Thai
Sang-song.
rum.
Yeah.
It's only about
Thai rum.
cheap stuff.
Yeah, it's
But
good
it's
for the
not-
price though.
It's
good.
I
not.
think
yeah, it's
I
drinkable.
might be the most expensive drinker tonight.
I'm the cheapest.
Yeah.
Black Label.
Black Label $70
Black Label.
for 175.
Let's go
By
with
the
my
way,
good
they-
old
I mean,
Gentleman Jack and Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
another
That's-
bottle of
the
wine
free-
from
Priceless.
Yeah,
the
very
Vader
priceless.
Vineyard.
No,
That
no.
is. That is. This is rare and unique. Only
Oh, that's not bad.
30 bottles in each batch.
Oh God,
So-
Cody's gonna get sloshed. You just said it's not
Yes.
bad.
Tastes pretty good.
What time is it there right
Are-
now?
I wish I had
Are
a
we
wine
gonna
kit
be
here
having-
over here.
10 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Hey, I got
Are
the
we
time
gonna-
changed right.
Are we going to be having Sock Ninja Cody tonight?
Well, considering how
Well,
much
I mean, he is
don't
day
wear
drinking,
socks
so
here,
maybe. Technically,
so
he is day
probably
drinking.
not. Yeah.
Starts at 9 a.m., give or take.
I kind of wish Ezra was here to explain the first time I ever got drunk, which was my 21st birthday at his house. And
Oh,
it was
God.
about 6 months before I started working with you, Brandon. Yeah.
My
it
my
was
very
good.
first time getting drunk was when I went to Springfield, Massachusetts, and I was such an innocent Canadian boy, led astray by an American, and he brought these screwdriver type drinks, and I got drunk on them, and I puked so much I couldn't drink orange juice for years. Oh.
Jeez.
Oh.
My first time ever getting drunk was actually with my dad. on my 16th birthday, and we had between him and I, most of a bottle of Southern Comfort while we played pool in our basement. Oh.
I lost a bet
that's a
on
Southern
a Super
Comfort.
Bowl,
Ooh.
and I had to drink. That was my first time ever getting drunk. Fucking Packers winning that fucking Super Bowl.
Ah!
So what was that?
Go
like?
sports
You were
team
So,
like,
with the
it was-
cheese.
Fuck. No, it was. Well, fuck, I don't remember. 2011, whichever one that was, I think. It was. I made a bet with one of my coworkers at the local market there in Gunnison, and this was when the Packers weren't even in the fucking playoffs, and he was like, "They're gonna win the Super Bowl this year." Like, and there was like 2 weeks left in the season. They weren't even in contention really at that point. I'm like, "Oh fuck yeah, I'll totally do that," and then they won, and then fucking Aaron Rodgers won again, and then they swept through the fucking playoffs. And they won the fucking Super Bowl, so I had to get drunk that next day at a party, which is a lot of fun.
All right, I'm going to ask the first question of the group. What is the very
I guess
first
we
game
don't get to talk about
you remember? What?
All right. Yeah.
What?
Everybody talked about their first time getting drunk. I didn't.
Oh
get
yeah,
to.
we don't care about you, Cody. It was probably the last one when you were like
I
9.
see how it is. Fine.
When was the
Okay,
first time you got
Cody.
drunk, Cody?
What was the first time you got drunk?
I was working for Kenai Princess Lodge in Alaska. I was 18, and we had this like party for housekeeping, and it was, let's just say, it involved jungle juice. I was not the worst person there. The worst person there was this Korean girl that was like, I'm not going to get drunk. I'm just going to eat the fruit in the jungle juice.
Oh, I
And
remember
she had
this
it the
story.
worst. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I still threw up and had like a terrible hangover all the way through the next day, but I was not the worst off by a far margin.
And an international incident was created.
Right.
That's a
I
different
have a knack
international
for
incident.
those. I have a
and
knack for those.
He does actually have an international arrest record, but we
Yeah.
won't talk about that
Story
this
for
episode.
another time. Story
Yeah.
for another
What
time.
I know that one.
is the first game that you remember playing and or enjoying?
Are you asking a specific person?
No, I'm asking the group.
Well,
I'll go first since I went last before, and it'll be fun that way. There's this game called Kingdom of Crows. It's 2-dimensional DOS, and it's hard to describe, but you're this little like ASCII character, and the ASCII character can move across the screen. And basically, you're avoiding other ASCII characters that moved. And I can't play that game, or for a while I couldn't play it anymore because it was based off the clock cycles on your processor. So it would be infinitely more difficult now. Luckily, for a while there was a web version of it. It's also called Caverns of Crows. And I was much better at it when I was young than I am now, or I am at least a couple of years ago when I retried it. So, yeah, 4-year-old me, 3-year-old me beats, 30s me at that game.
All right, Brandon.
Odell Lake on the Commodore 64, an edutainment game about the life cycle of lake creatures.
That sounds cool.
Did
Yeah.
you enjoy that?
That was
I
your
did.
favorite?
I didn't understand it. I didn't really get it, but it was pretty, and like it gave you time to like randomly select 1, 2, or 3 because I couldn't read at that point. That I first remember playing it. But it's a toss up. I don't know if I played Galaga first or if I played Odell Lake first. But Odell Lake is one of those games that I have actually gone back and like revisited once I got old enough to be able to read, and I still kind of enjoyed playing it because it's like, oh, okay, well, Mackinac, let's see, that can eat all of the other fish but has to avoid you know, the osprey and the otter, and if it eats certain plankton, it will die.
Was there a game called Odell Down Under where you played like an open ocean, like you could pick what creature you could be and swim around and get eaten?
Yeah, is this a
So,
series?
so
I
apparently it is a series. I only realized this when I was Googling for the image behind me earlier today, and now I'm gonna have to see. Like, I'm gonna have to
I
try the other
wow,
ones.
you just hit me in the face with my childhood.
Revisiting never
I remember
works.
hours of playing that Odell Down Under game. Oh,
Okay.
One,
Yeah,
one thing,
and
like
then
Coral Reef
revisiting
game.
never works. Just like old TV series, sometimes revisiting does not work.
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't, but
Yeah.
sometimes it does. Like,
Yeah.
I think that even though like the graphics are simple, like updated graphics wouldn't really make this a better game.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But once you understand the life cycle of the lake, it's kind of eh. Like,
Okay.
yeah, that
All
was
right, Colton.
I'm original Super Mario's brothers. Honestly, that's the first game I ever remember actually playing. Yep, Charlie sees it right
console.
there. That is
Yep.
the
You're
first
stealing my
game I
answer,
ever.
man.
I figured I would when I saw the pre-production pictures you were putting up. I was like, oh well, it could be the same thing. I mean, it's I think my dad owned the Nintendo, and I pretty sure I just became conscious of myself, self-aware, and I remember that first little bit. I could not get past that first fucking Goomba. So it kind of became a theme for my entire gaming life is dying pretty quickly in the first level.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's
So
absolutely amazing. Tim.
didn't understand jumping.
Well, mine's a little bit different. So I'll just give you a little background. I was probably I'm older than you, because I got my first. Started off with a computer-wise. I started off with a VIC-20, but wasn't even a computer game. I was in the military at the time, and I was posted in an isolated posting called Goose Bay, Labrador,
Oh.
and
Oh, good God.
you could only fly at that time. You could only fly in. To get out by car, you had to take the ferry, which when you had to wait for all the ice to break out. Some years before this global warming, some years that was maybe middle July, and then you could get out. So it was yeah, I was a radar tech at the time.
Who
on
did
the,
you piss off?
No, I actually picked the place. I actually picked the place.
What?
Oh,
Wow.
God damn.
That's another story, but we could have to go into that another time.
Okay.
But anyways, my favorite gaming experience was I had a friend there. We were two couples, and my friend he could have had a job as an illustrator. He could draw fantasy characters, do fantasy art like unbelievable. So he would actually do an art piece of whatever character you developed. So we had that world, and he was a phenomenal dungeon master. He introduced me to Dungeons and Dragons, and so the whole thing, I mean, you're isolated posting, and you had this great world to escape to, and it was a lot of fun. Now, that's my favorite gaming memory by far.
That's awesome.
So,
Yeah,
yeah, that is amazing.
I wish I still had it.
My first is Super Mario Brothers, and man, my childhood home. I was like maybe 4. My older siblings were around. We had this old color television where you had to like turn the dials, and it like displayed the number when you turned. So that tells you how many channels it could go have. That was back in the day when the myth that playing video games ruined your television was still around, and I'd get yelled at for that. That was also the same time when you accidentally like turned it on to wrestling. My parents would yell like, "No, you can't watch that." And turns out they knew why, because watch enough of that shit and you're going to try to suplex your brother, but who knew? Yeah, so and then like immediately after this game, Duck Hunt. And I think actually the first game that we bought was the Mario Brothers Duck Hunt combo game. where it was both games loaded into one, and it came with a controller and the gun, and that fucking duck. But the dog
No.
laughing
The
at
dog.
you, much worse. Yeah, fuck that dog.
I remember trying to shoot the dog and being really upset that I couldn't.
Yeah.
Classic.
All right. Someone else MC this next question.
All right. So, what was everyone's favorite game? Could be old, new, one or two, or an entire series.
I'm gonna have to think about this one for a minute.
I have my answer already, and
I
so
have it.
in high school, I had PC gaming, but internet gaming for me wasn't a thing yet, and so I did have the original Xbox, and Halo
Okay.
by far is still my favorite game I've ever played on a console ever, and spoiler alert is actually this game specifically is the one that I am most excited for in the traditional game release mode. I've got another answer for what we're most excited about, but Halo Infinite and just the Halo the storytelling, the music, the character development, the whole John 117, the whole Cortana, like even down to the way they name their ships, where it's like lines of poetry instead of naming it after generals.
Forward
Pillar
unto
of Autumn,
dawn, pillar of
Forward Unto Dawn.
autumn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole universe. Like Microsoft did a fucking fantastic job of picking this for their franchise master with the Xbox. They did
It's
amazing.
why they won that generation of console is Halo.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Headshot.
I have issues with Halo, but I don't have issues with the writing and with the actual
Storyline.
like universe of Halo.
Yeah.
My
Still
issue
some of my
is
favorite books.
level design and some of the coding.
Okay.
Which is
Fair
kind of funny
Well,
because
so
go on.
you were expecting, to be fair, because I remember this story, Cody.
There.
You were expecting what Unreal Tournament 2004 was.
I was
In
expecting
Halo.
what Battlefield 2 was, but a version of like Aliens, and because originally when it was developed and going to be on Mac and then PC, be like Mac first then PC, it was going to be a totally different game than what it turned out to be, and that coupled with the change in it, and also when it did release on PC, it was a terrible buggy mess, and the spawn code was bad. To me, since I've actually done some level design in games, not on an official capacity, but I've made some crazy maps before.
like Crisis maps. Yeah.
Yeah,
remember your
Crisis,
Crisis
Far
maps.
Cry.
Far Cry. Oh god, that one Far Cry map you had that had like the keys hidden in bushes
Oh yeah.
and like the zip lines. Oh my god, that was perfection. I fucking hated that map because you were just like, do. I created this, so I know where everything is, and I'm gonna headshot
That
you
was
from like
bad.
this
Oh,
random
my
like
God.
cavern that I created.
Yeah, you see that peak over there, that mountain? Yeah, I'm gonna shoot you from there. Goodbye.
Yeah.
So the PC launch, I completely agree, and I understand you're a PC Master Race person. We currently own an Xbox 360. It sits in our bedroom. It is our DVD player 98% of the time. The other 2% of the time is Tiger Woods golf because my wife is a golf nut, and she schools me so badly at Tiger Woods golf. I'm getting better, but it's still bad. It's still ugly. But like when Halo Infinite releases, I will be conflicted on whether to get the console or not. It's coming out on PC directly, so I don't need to.
So
But
It's
man,
it's one of the
so
reasons I
good
got
on
the
PC
Game Pass, so
yeah.
I'm super
So
fucking
yeah,
excited.
So I'll weigh in on this. I am PC master race. I have had consoles, but PCs have always kind of been the main thing. I actually really want one of the Series X. Just because I do have, like, I had an Xbox as a kid. I actually still have it. I hacked XBMC onto it. Xbox Media Center, which eventually became Plex,
Cody.
which eventually
No.
Code.
It,
No.
It became Cody, not Plex. Yeah,
Yeah, it became Cody.
it became
Oh.
Cody.
KODI.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Because yeah, but either way, like it was kind of the precursor to Cody and then Plex, and I still have it. It still functions. The CD player doesn't work in it. I've been scouring eBay for a good CD or DVD drive for it, but because of all of the gaming shit lately, everybody's like, "Oh, look, this is now a $70 drive."
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
look for like N64 stuff, and it's
I have,
yeah.
because I have 2 broken N64s that I need a good power supply before I can test and see what's wrong with them.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I actually want a Xbox Series X because so the new Forza's coming out, or I think may already be out, Forza 5. Luke and I are both big into racing games. And his computer is a decent laptop that will play a decent amount of things, but it's not going to play Forza. It's not going to play
Oh, yeah.
any of the newer stuff. And I mean, especially with Game Pass, it's almost worth it to have an Xbox in the living room for him to play on. And then I can play the PC games, and there's a lot of cross multiplayer on some of these games too, like Sea of Thieves. Like you can
Yeah.
play console and PC on the same ship, and I think that would be a lot of fun to
Even
play with him.
Overwatch is starting to have that type of thing too.
Rocket League.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Overwatch.
And Rocket League's a game where I really wish that I played with my Xbox controller. Like I can dig it out right now, but I've got an Xbox controller for my computer. I've used it twice.
I use it almost nightly, although it's mostly for the drone sim that I play.
I just found mine in my luggage.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Oh
nice.
shit!
So because I have a heck of a hard time controlling those planes in some of those games that we played, so I'm
Oh,
looking
yeah.
forward to using that.
Understandable.
No. That's why you need something like
Oh.
this.
Yeah, I used to
And-
have all that stuff.
There you
I
are.
used
I'm
to,
not
a long
close
time ago.
enough to my luggage to hold up my Thrustmaster Warthog.
I mean, do you
I
really
still
want to hold
have-
30 pounds in front of the camera?
Oh
either?
yeah, that's like.
And like I have Cytec X52 Pros. Like they're not cheap joysticks.
That I
but
gave you.
No, these are not the ones you gave me. You gave me X42s. So one of the gentlemen I tabletop game with had them sitting on his desk for years, just sitting there. And I'm like, what do you play with these? And he's like, I don't. Do you want them? I'm like,
Oh.
yeah, yes.
Hell yeah!
He's like,
Yeah,
here you
the
go.
answer to that is
This was
absolutely.
after I built
Fucking
his
shit. Yes.
second to last computer. So like, yeah, the best fee for building a computer for someone ever.
So are those the ones? Are those the silver and black ones with the MFD on the throttle? Okay, so I must have given those to our friend Pinyal, because I had a set of those, but the twist rudder started going out because they did not use Hall sensors in the silver and black version. But if you get the X52 Pros, yes. So if you get the X52 Pros, which are black and use metal buttons and triggers, they also use the Hall effect sensors, which Hall effect sensors will basically last indefinitely. That's the reason I got the Thrustmaster. because my faithful Logitech, which is also right here. Come here.
Brandon's like the show and tell guy.
Oh, totally.
Oh yeah.
My Logitech Extreme 3D Pro that I bought back in 2005 for specifically to play Battlefield 2, the helicopters. The twist rudder on it is actually finally starting to fail, and there's a little bit bigger dead zone in the middle. So when Thrustmaster announced that they were going to do the side stick like the Airbus and use Hall sensors, it was kind of a no-brainer. I actually pre-ordered it.
Colton, what's your answer? Favorite game?
Oh yeah.
See,
Sorry.
I don't really know, because depending on the time of my life, it changes. I mean,
Yeah, that's so okay. Top three, we'll go with just short blurb.
Well, I mean, so when I was younger, when the N64, that was kind of when I really got into gaming. The original Super Smash Brothers is still probably my top three. I love that fucking game. I loved playing all the characters. There wasn't really much of a story, but I don't care because I like to beat the shit out of all of Nintendo's characters.
It's the original Injustice.
Exactly.
It's just,
exactly.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
all of your favorite characters beat the shit out of each other. There you go.
yeah, just fucking
Yep.
and yeah. There was a PS2 game. I guess it was on I think it was on the Xbox as well. But Baldur's Gate: Dark Alliance.
Oh,
I fucking loved that game in terms of story and in terms of, I mean, kind of Dungeons and Dragons thing. You had the same fucking enemies, just so kind of cool. And then, I mean, Overwatch. When I was into Overwatch, I fucking played a lot of fucking Overwatch.
oh yeah.
So-
Yes, you did.
Those are my
Yeah,
probably my top
we'd still
three.
Enjoy that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Cody.
It's a good variety.
Yeah.
For me, I've got kind of a similar thing going on. I mean, there was the Nintendo 64 era, which I'm actually gonna. I think I'm gonna surprise people on this one.
Turok?
So, not that surprising.
Damn it.
So
Chrono
GoldenEye was
Trigger.
the game at the time, and I loved GoldenEye, but there was something even more fun than GoldenEye for me.
Perfect Dark.
Blasphemy.
No, you guys are guessing off.
All right.
Duke Nukem 64.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
My
yeah.
God, really?
Yeah. Obviously.
Like,
Oh yeah, that was on my
Bot
list. It's on my list
match,
too.
because you could have bots on that one. So even if you didn't have 4 friends that could play, you could play with bots. And if you put the bot on the hardest difficulty on Duke Nukem 64, if they had ammo for the pistol, they would just murder you. And so I would just go around like a little spider setting up laser trip mines for everybody to run into. And there would be this other... Yeah, I had lots of fun with that. Then a little bit later was Unreal Tournament became my favorite game.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so
The
many
soul-sucking,
hours.
soul
So many hours.
destroying game.
Okay, so I remember playing that on my Cyrix 90 processor desktop that I built from like trash computer, and I had a mouse with like 2 buttons and then the scroll wheel with the middle click. And
that was the life
I-
of the day.
yeah, I actually bound, like I would scroll forward and it would move me forward. I would scroll back, it would move me back. Pressing on it would jump, and then of course primary fire, alt fire, and I just would play that like just one-handed, feet kicked up on the desk, just like destroying bots. And then I met you assholes and tried to pull that shit, and I'm like, I suck at this game.
Oh,
So,
the LAN
I
party where you
loved-
brought that.
I loved playing Oddjob in GoldenEye. I loved it so much because
you
everyone
would.
was calibrated
Never played
for
that.
up, and I was pinging you in the dick.
You're a terrible person.
I am, but you really have to hand it. You have to hand it to little people, because most of the time they can't reach it.
Oh, fuck me.
That's a pretty good segue. I'll give you that
Okay.
one because the segue
Yeah.
was good. And then I've got a final one. While I love Overwatch, while I love some of the more modern games,
Honorable mentions, yeah.
Far Cry. And I loved it so
original?
much that
Yeah,
I
it was good.
created
Yep.
ridiculous maps for it. Yeah, the original, because the original was the one with the trigens, was the one with the, like, the crazy ape monkey things.
The water in that
the
game
water
was
was
just
so
like
beautiful.
mind breaking.
The
Like when you
graphics
had
were
of
so ahead of
graphics.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. When you had a card
Oh.
and computer that could handle it, like turning that on for the first time and seeing the
seeing, like-
reflection and like the ripples, and it was just like, oh god.
And this was like 2004. Like this was, yeah, and so much fun that we have to be had in that game. Like just drive. Like it was the first game for me that worked really well with vehicles too. So I mean, just have
Yep.
ridiculous like, just so fun. I can't describe how fun that game.
I did
could
not
be.
experience Far Cry like you experienced Far Cry. By the time we become friends, Crysis was
Yeah.
out, and you were trying to like get me to be excited about Far Cry still. And Crysis was so farther ahead,
Oh,
built
yeah.
on the shoulders
Yeah.
of what Far Cry had done. But man, the level, you using the same architecture in your mind to build Crysis maps. That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's sad that I lost a couple of those maps. I wish I still had them. There was this Canyon Crisis map that I had that was really fun to play.
Insane.
But yeah, like part of me wants to get back into building those. But that was, yeah, I have to.
They did
mention that
remaster
because-
Crysis recently.
Oh yeah,
They
did?
fully
Okay.
remastered it and
Maybe
like
have to.
embraced their PC melting heritage, and even 3080s are having issues with the on its highest mode.
Yeah,
So it's back to the can you run Crysis
on ultra settings?
Like now the answer is nope.
Yeah, I did a Tech Pirate
God.
article on it when it came out.
Yeah,
Alright.
That'd be something to look into.
That's awesome.
Unfortunately, I joined the group after you guys were over that phase, so I remember y'all made me get Crysis, and I don't think I've ever played fucking Crysis in my whole goddamn life. It's one of the oldest games I have in my Steam library, and I've never played the goddamn game.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
I mean, I'm calling this a Twitch challenge. You must play Crysis by the end of the
There
week.
we go. All right, I will.
Okay.
I will see if it even works. Such an
Oh,
old game on the newer stuff.
you should do it as a review Thursday.
Oh, there you
The
go.
original Crysis?
Retrospective.
The original
Ooh.
Crysis.
Okay.
First look at the original Crysis.
Oh, that's good.
I like it. That's a good idea. That's going on the list.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, Tim. What do you got?
Well, I remember when you used to get computer disc on 3.5-inch floppies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oregon
that was
Trail.
always fun. Yeah.
Diet of
Yeah.
Dysentery.
One of my earlier
Hugo's Haunted
favorites, just earlier, some of the ones you guys already mentioned, but you haven't mentioned this one was I liked Doom and Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein actually made me nauseous at times, going through all those friggin' walls, and back and forth. Now going a little bit more modern, I've always liked the Tom Clancy ones.
I
And
love Tom Clancy.
There was one
everything.
Tom Clancy that I can't remember for the life of me, but it was a lot more tactical, and you planned out routes for your team.
Oh, Rainbow
Rainbow
Six.
Six.
Rainbow Six.
Yeah, no, I think no, but it was a Rainbow Six spin-off.
It was Rainbow Six 2, and it was
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Alpha Bravo Delta
Yeah.
with breaching
Yeah,
charges
yes.
and
Yes,
yelling
exactly.
Alpha and breaching. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was a lot of
I
fun.
had that on Game Boy.
So since I usually liked shooter games, I like things like today, like Conan and stuff like that, where you got to collect things all the time. I really mushes my brain. So I know a lot of people love that. but building things like I just can't get into that. But one game that was sort of a little bit of a spin-off, and your character you picked you picked which line your character would take, that I found I really loved was Mass Effect. I really enjoyed Mass Effect.
That
So,
yeah,
yeah.
that was a good game. I didn't care for the actual gameplay of that game,
Mm.
but the story and basically playing a book, it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, so that kind of
So-
hit all the boxes for me.
And
at the
who
time.
doesn't want to fuck their
on Xbox.
crewmates? I mean, honestly.
Who doesn't want to be their own Captain Kirk? Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, Tally Zora.
and there's a few more.
You're the
Getting
only
a
one. The only
nerd.
one.
You might
as a shooter,
There's definitely gameplay footage of all of that, but yeah, they did it for posterity, not because anyone actually likes Tali Zora.
yeah. So
I
I think
did.
there's only
I
I
do.
think there's three versions.
Hours.
I think there's 3 versions of that game, but I don't think they really continued it much more than that.
Yeah, so there's 3, and then they did Andromeda, and I
Yep.
got Andromeda,
okay.
and it was a hot mess on launch. It got better after patching, but by the time they
Ruined
patched it,
Mm,
it was
too bad.
I would recommend
Yeah.
playing all the way through 3.
Yeah.
I have not played
Yes.
Andromeda, so take his
I
advice
played
on
one.
Andromeda.
I played 1 and 2,
So-
and that was on the Xbox when I had my Xbox.
okay.
But
Yeah,
to-
definitely
okay.
definitely
We'll go
play
with
through
3.
3.
And,
I
and
would
your character
also make
can move
sure
over between all 3 of them,
Mhm.
Yeah.
like all your decisions and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what
I don't.
makes
So-
this.
Yeah, I don't think they
2
were the
is the
first
best,
game to
in
do
my
that,
opinion.
but pretty awesome.
Yeah, they definitely weren't.
Yeah.
But if you're listening or watching this and you haven't played Mass Effect, they just launched a remastered edition,
Ooh.
Mass Effect
remastering
Legendary.
everything.
Yeah, Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I tried streaming it for a little while, but the internet in the new place, the upload sucks. But it includes all of the DLC for all 3 games. It is worth every penny to get it
Oh, okay.
because they updated the mechanics in the first game
I think it's
to
on
be
sale right
like
now.
the second game. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And like the visuals are amazing. They went back through and kind of re-engineered some of the audio samples, so the audio's better, the animation's better, the textures are amazing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It is. Yeah, I think
Huh.
it was like $70 when I bought it, but
Mm.
I don't regret that at all.
Mhm, mhm.
It's great, and like I didn't buy a bunch of the DLC when I was playing through initially, and then like for Mass Effect 3, there's a DLC that gives you a different option all the way at the end if you play through in a certain way, and apparently it's like the best. It's the ending that everybody wanted when they were playing
Oh.
through 3.
Oh, okay.
One of my
No,
friends
no
found
spoilers.
found an interesting ending to that.
Okay.
Ah,
Another
Ben?
going into flight shooter ones. I don't know why this one popped up into my head, but I know I played this one for hours and hours and hours, and I don't even know if I have the title right. But does A10 Warthog?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
A10 Warthog.
Oh,
Yes.
I fucking loved
Yeah,
that
I
So
game.
good.
Yeah. I played
Seventh
that.
So good.
grade, seventh grade computer club.
Yeah.
I would play that every week for an hour. I wanted it at home, but I didn't have the flight sticks that the school had.
Right.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, it
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah, that was a blast to play. It was just fun playing it, and you didn't
So
have to invest a lot of effort, like thought into it. Just go for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then my last one, I guess, of course, was the original Half-Life. That blew my mind when that came out. The original
Yeah.
Half-Life. Yeah.
That was amazing. The
Scared the hell out of me
the-
sometimes.
Yeah. Half-Life was amazing.
Now it's
Have-
scaring me in 3D.
I was
Oh,
going to say,
yeah.
have you played Half-Life Alyx yet?
Yeah, I played a bit on when Cody was living here. Yeah.
Yeah, he played it on
Okay.
Index because I brought it. I set it up at his place. So now he wants VR.
I'm waiting for my birthday So the you know, so if I buy it for my
So,
birthday, the wife
how
won't
many baht
free.
is a Valve Index?
You can't get it here. I don't think you can actually get it here, but it would be like 30,000
Jesus.
if it was sold here. It might be a little bit less now because it's
Why isn't it sold there?
it's the same reason
Valve?
why Valve won't ship some things to Alaska. Like,
Really?
yeah.
It can't guarantee arrival, therefore they will not sell it to you.
I'm guessing it's something like
No,
that.
I just found it on Lazada.
Oh, you found it? Okay.
Yeah, it's 27,000. Actually, 27,000 baht.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
So, yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much same
birthday.
price. A little less, actually, isn't it?
it's less now,
I-
and
actually,
I think
I
that's
found
probably
an-
because the price dropped a little
I
bit.
found another one, 25. It's 25,000.
All right, I'm going to MC this next question because
I didn't answer.
Wait.
Oh,
You can't
you put
MC
it up.
if you.
We
skip
already
people.
know what Brandon's
Just
is. I mean,
fucking
it's pretty
say it
obvious,
already.
isn't it?
I have to escape.
Just
I have
fucking
to watch
say
my.
it.
But
I
for
have to escape for a
our
moment.
audios.
Oh,
Okay.
So
Tim's
sorry.
gotta escape for a minute, so
So
he'll
sorry.
be back
I'll be right
when
back.
he's back.
You just can carry on.
Yeah, we'll be right
Okay.
back.
So, yeah, anyone who's watching, you can see behind me Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I put it up first because I was going to answer first, and then everybody just kept talking, and it's like, well. But
That's
yeah,
not how you
how we
MC
roll.
a question. You always ask other people, and then you punctuate with yours, and then someone else MCs the question. The next one.
I'm like 2 glasses of wine in now, so whatever.
Well, I'm stating out loud how to do the rules.
Okay,
So read the question, and then
Moving
you're the
forward.
last answer. There you go.
moving forward. Anyway, yeah, Knights of the Old Republic. I actually played Dark Forces 2
Oh yeah. Oh
before.
God, I love that game.
Yes. So before Knights of the Old Republic came out, Dark Forces 2, I played Dark Forces 2, enjoyed
Kyle
it, but it was
Katarn.
like, yeah. And it's like, that was good, but it was basically like a Doom and Unreal.
It was Doom with Star Wars cover
yeah.
art. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was so good.
Very good. It was very good, but like Knights of the Old Republic was just better for me. Like the storyline, like the plot twist. Oh God, just like
I will tell you what I hated about Knights of the Old Republic.
okay.
I quit before I got a lightsaber.
What?
Yeah.
Sounds like a personal problem.
I couldn't. It lost my attention before I got the lightsaber. I don't even know if you get a lightsaber. Let me put it that way.
Yes. Yes. You absolutely do. You get it like maybe a third of the way into the game. Not even. Like a quarter. Like a quarter of the way into the game is when you get your first lightsaber. And then it's just like everything becomes upgrades for your lightsaber and different colors and kyber crystals and yeah.
I don't like turn-based.
I love the fact that the Trekkie in the group, his favorite game is a Star Wars game. Just
Star
saying
Trek games are notoriously bad, though. So.
Oh, Star Trek games are fucking horrible.
Whoa.
Okay.
Fucking whoa.
What about Bridge Crew?
Name one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get the fuck off
Bridge Crew?
Get the fuck off my bridge.
Fine.
Bridge Crew's
Fuck off,
good.
That's not.
The
That's not a AAA major title.
Bridge
That's-
Commander is good. Delta Forces, amazing.
I never
Away
played Delta
Team,
Forces.
Fantastic. Fuck
Never played
you.
Away
Delta
Team.
Force?
Fuck you.
Okay, so
Get off. You can't
Delta
call
Force
yourself a
is
Trekkie
Star
anymore.
Wars game?
I've never
What?
called
The
myself
Star
a
Trek
Trekkie.
he's talking to me.
Oh,
I'm talking to
no.
him.
No,
I'm talking to him.
okay.
Sorry. I'm leaving.
My favorite Star Trek game was actually Starfleet Command 2.
Ooh, yeah. 2 and 3 were really good, both of them.
I wanted to get 3 and I just couldn't afford it because I was a broke high school kid with a car.
I'll give it to you right now.
Well,
That's how good of a friend I am.
yes, thank you
It
for
might
giving
cost
me a
me
game that's
$1.
now like $3.
Hey,
Like-
hey, it's the thought. It's the
In the other room, I actually still have the manual CD and the quick reference card for Starfleet Command 2. That is actually, like, it was a toss-up between Knights of the Old Republic and Starfleet Command 2 for me. Knights of the Old Republic had a much better storyline, a much more immersive storyline. Starfleet Command 2 was just a infinitely playable game. Like, I wasted so many hours of my life playing Starfleet Command 2. And then when Starship Designer came out, I thought it was going to be like you can design your own ship and then play it like Starfleet Command 2, and I was so disappointed.
So I guess you've heard the news, Brandon. They're remastering Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes.
They're doing the full remastered treatment with modern controls, modern mechanics, modern everything.
Yeah. And I can't fucking wait.
I would buy this
It's
game for you right now.
October?
I was about to gift it to you, Brandon. But notice this game is only compatible with Windows XP, Vista 7, and 8.
He's got enough computers.
8 and 10. Like, that's... Yeah.
There's probably online shit somewhere that'll teach you how to hack that shit if it doesn't work.
And Brandon
and
has
it's
enough
$10.
computers where
But
he
I
can
would get
set-
it for you right this second. But it's not. It's not.
Can't guarantee it'll work.
Let's see. When is the new remake coming out? Star Wars...
I don't know, honestly. I know PlayStation announced it, and everyone came in their collective pants when that shit happened. I've never played the game, so I'm excited to finally
neither,
try it.
Actually,
Everyone says it's so goddamn good.
It is amazing. And, oh, yeah. See, now I'm glad I didn't actually say the plot twist.
Yeah, don't ever fucking... Spoilers. Don't ever do spoilers.
Fuck you.
Well, I mean, to
Don't
be fair,
fucking
the
do that.
original came out in 2003. Like, if you were gonna play it, you would have played it by now. But with the remake on the way, I decided,
No spoilers.
let's see.
It's going on the list with Crisis.
What else?
Teaser.
To buy new hardware.
Why?
okay.
Yeah, I
well,
can't
he's trying to find
Okay.
that. I want
It's fine.
to mention something. As far as like my favorite single player experience that I forgot about that I know a few of you like, Subnautica. Or maybe I'm the only
Subnautica's pretty good. I have yet to play all the way through it, but I do have to admit, like, that's not... I don't normally do the survival mechanic
true.
games. It's too grindy. And like most of the survival games, there isn't a lot of storyline.
You
But-
you have to kind of
Read.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like Morrowind. Remember Morrowind? Morrowind was an amazing game, but you
I
had
hated
to read
Morrowind.
novels.
I fucking hated Morrowind because you walked out of the courtroom, you know, the like whatever.
And you could do anything.
You didn't have a quest. You had no
Yeah, go to find
Purchase in
Caius
the game.
Cosades. Find Caius Cosades. Or
no.
Don't know any of
there,
these
there
games.
was nothing. There was no.
there
You
was-
walked out the door and it was like,
you had a free world. You could kill anybody in that game. Now, it would warn you when you killed them that you screwed up your game and you need to reload, or do you want to continue playing in this universe that you have screwed over, but you could do anything in it. It was total freedom in a game. If you wanted
I
to
do like-
enchant something that gave you, like, you know, yeah, the broken ring of healing. Anyway, sorry, I'm taking over. Go back.
no. I just
Skyrim. That'll go on the list.
I hated.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hated. I tried to play Morrowind because I remember like getting with you and that gaming group, Cody, and you were like, "You have to try Morrowind. It's the best game ever. There's silk striders and there's this and there's that, and you can kill everybody and you can enchant rings to fly and carry
Learned a lot about
anything."
Cody
And-
that day.
Pause.
Yeah.
Just wanted to kill
Pause
everybody.
A second. I'm gonna blow your mind. One of my favorite games of all time is Skyrim. Before that, Oblivion. I have never played Morrowind.
Ever played Morrowind?
I
Mods.
played an hour.
Okay.
I played
so
an
do
hour
it,
of Morrowind, and it.
Do it with
Eh.
mods. If you... you have to read.
Nudity
but that's
mods, I'm
okay.
assuming?
I know everybody here can read. I know everybody
You
is
don't
literate.
know me.
Don't assume I could read, motherfucker.
But it's brilliant. Anyway, let's get on to our next topic, unless Brandon is
Okay.
still searching.
Okay, I searched. I found a Star Wars
conquered.
Knights of the Old Republic remake. Release date hasn't been confirmed yet, but we
Probably
don't
next-
expect to see
Next
Star
holiday
Wars.
season.
Yeah, we don't expect to see the Star Wars RPG to return until at least late 2022, as developer Asper has confirmed the game is still in early development.
And I'm sure they're going to add... You know what? This is a good transition
That means
into
it's gonna be
where
even
we want to
better.
see it going. Where we want to see the
Oh.
industry going.
Okay, pause.
So-
Okay.
Pause. I did interject a question in here.
Oh,
What is the list of all the consoles you've ever owned?
oh,
So Brandon, if you've got them ready,
oh yeah.
go chronological order everything you've owned.
Okay. Started out with a VIC-20, Commodore 64. Then I played Nintendo, like NES, at a cousin's house, but never really had anything other than we had a Windows 95 computer for a little bit. My first actual, so I had the original Game Boy when I was a kid.
Oh, we're counting
Like,
those. Oh, shit.
Came with Tetris, the gray like brick.
Bricks. Yeah.
Yep. My first actual like TV console was a Xbox, because we used to rent the PS2 or no, the PS1 and the Xbox. Or no, sorry, N64. I had an N64. By the way, I have to say, if anyone has an Adventure Beetle Racing cartridge, please, for the love of God, let me know how much you want for it. Like, I won't pay crazy amounts, but I will pay some decent money, because VW forced the game developer to recall it, and I remember renting that from City Market and fucking loving it, because it was Mario Kart with Volkswagen Beetles.
Oh, I forgot. When City Market had the fucking video shit.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so N64, then Xbox. I had a Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, several different PCs. Then I bought a PlayStation Portable. Or no. I bought a PlayStation 2 right out of high school for Guitar Hero. Then when I moved out to California, my EMS partner had a PlayStation Portable. And he was like, look, we could play Battlefield 2 together on PlayStation Portable in the rig. And I'm like, yes, let's. So I bought the Kratos Red edition of the PlayStation Portable. Immediately hacked it for emulators and saving games on it and like all that stuff. Then another PlayStation 2, because the other one died. Then I had a PlayStation 3 for a little bit and still have it, but it hasn't even been turned on in years. And I was given an Xbox 360, and that's currently hooked up to the TV, and my son plays Forza Horizon 2 on it. Oh,
Okay.
and now I have a Nintendo Switch Lite.
Okay. Colton.
Original Nintendo, Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance SP, all the Game Boys, but not the original. Never had the original. Let's see, N64, PS1, PS2, PS3, and Xbox 360. I think that's pretty much, yeah, that's actually pretty much it.
Cody. I'm going for this question specifically because I guarantee I've had one console that none of you have had.
All right,
going.
so
Sega.
Sega Genesis, N64, PlayStation, and then if we count the little Steam boxy thing, which I don't know if we can count, then that's it.
Okay.
Lots of computers.
Okay.
Tim.
Commodore VIC-20, the Commodore 64, the 128. Then I went into PCs, and then somewhere in there at the same time, I think it was a Genesis 2. And then Xbox One, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Oh,
Regular-
and I had a Wii.
Okay, yeah. All right. Who didn't have a Wii? Who has not had a Wii? Really? Okay. All right.
I wanted one. I just never got one.
Okay.
3 out of 5.
I had a regular Nintendo. My dad had an Atari and a Commodore 64. He would not let me anywhere near them at all. Like, I'm his
Smart
conservator and guardian now. I still don't know where they are. I know he still has them. I don't know where they are. Okay?
They're buried somewhere.
Okay. Super Nintendo, N64, Sega Genesis, Sega Saturn. No one had Sega Saturn. And
yeah, I was wondering
some
if
of
they
the
would come
most
Yeah.
mind-boggling, amazing games ever were sole only released for Sega Saturn. One of
Just
which
a bit
has
too
made
expensive.
one of which that made the jump and made it to PC was DEFCON 5, and that is an amazing game. If you ever get to play that, DEFCON 5 is amazing. Okay. N64, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color. I never owned one of the Sega portables. My brother did, though. That asshole never shared. I'm talking to you, Clayton,
got
and
a family
you don't watch this,
tradition
but he lives close enough to you for you to know. So, fuck you, Clayton. You never shared. Then...
That's an official stance of TWIL. Fuck you, Clayton.
Fuck you, Clayton. PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1. I played Grand Theft Auto 1 on that, and it was just top down,
I love
drive
that
around,
game. Love
shoot
that
people
game.
on the ground. Fantastic.
Yep.
Love that game. I think it's better
So
than
good.
GTA 5, but that's just me. And then...
Yeah, that might just be you.
It might just be me. I have never owned a PlayStation 2, 3, or 4, or 5. I got an Xbox right before I went to college. I got an Xbox 360 in college. And that's the end of the line. I do not own an Xbox One. I don't own an Xbox Series 10. I don't own any of the new gen consoles.
Yeah. I had to
Halo
dump
Infinite
everything
may
before I
be the
moved here.
only thing that will ever get me to buy another console. I'm firmly suckling on the PC Master Race teat, but
It's glorious RGB
It is.
teat.
it is glorious. It is glorious. All right, I'm gonna let someone else MC this question.
So,
Or Colton?
I want to MC a fucking question.
Yeah, you
assholes.
get the MC. You get the MC.
So, I guess... So, we've talked about our past with games. But maybe we should talk about where we'd like to see gaming go in the future. Whether
Hey,
it's
Colt.
hardware, software... What?
Colton,
What?
what does 50 Cent do when he's hungry?
What?
He 58.
Past
No.
tense. Doesn't count.
No.
That's
Yeah, no.
past tense. Doesn't count. Incorrect.
Where's the
Incorrect,
gong?
sir.
Where's
All right,
the
fine.
gong?
Fine.
Bong.
Continue. Sorry.
So yeah, I mean, we like to predict. We like to talk about future shit. So where do we want to see gaming go in the
Okay, so
future? Brandon
are you
seems like he
asking
really
this-
wants. Oh,
Are you asking this as the wish list question? Or are you asking
so
this as
much-
the 10-year question? Because
let's-
if you
let's
ask the 10-year
say-
question,
Let's do both.
We're gonna
Do
go
both.
back to the last season finale.
True. So let's just do we'll do both. So let's do it could be anything in the gaming industry. Doesn't have to be anything specific. And then future shit. Really far in the future. Brandon
'Kay.
seems like he's really excited to tell us about something.
Okay, future shit, that's easy. Future shit, the future of gaming is going to be smaller, easier to wear, more accessible VR gaming.
Yeah,
That's going to be
mine's
the
gonna
thing.
be VR.
Alex.
Mhm.
Yeah, Half-Life
Yeah.
Alex. If
That proved
anybody
it.
hasn't played it, it is the epitome of
Oh.
VR.
It is so good.
It-
Needs to come down in price, which
Yeah.
they kind of have.
yeah, it's amazing.
What I want to see from the industry is, yes, VR gaming. I want to see VR headsets go down in price, not require
Minecraft VR.
sensors. Minecraft VR is really good. Skyrim VR is really good.
Wait. They have Minecraft VR?
Yeah,
You mean Skyrim VR?
No, Minecraft.
they have Minecraft.
Oh, yeah.
too.
Yeah, Minecraft.
Minecraft VR is baked into the Windows 10 Bedrock Edition.
Oh,
Yeah.
did not know that. Okay.
Yep. I run a
You
Bedrock
call yourself
server.
a gamer.
I think a flight simulator fighter jet VR game would be pretty good.
Oh,
One doesn't
They
VTOL
have that.
VR. VTOL VR is
Yep.
fantastic.
Okay.
I got it with my original Oculus. It is amazing. It's
Hmm.
okay with the Lenovo. Not trash talking you, Brandon, but it is not the headset that I thought it was. I have
Yeah.
not touched it in 6 months. I'll be honest. It not having the
Neither
built-in audio, not great. I will not pay $1,000 for the Vive, or not the Vive, but the Index.
The Index.
Oculus.
A-
Yeah.
And honestly, there's going to be a new generation that's going to be coming here. So that if you're going to
Colton,
spend that much,
I have thought very hard about maybe next year getting the next version of that,
Oh yeah.
but
Fuck yeah. Give your data to Facebook. Who gives a shit anymore? We live in a post.
yeah.
We live in stage capitalism. Fuck it.
Yep. No, what I really want to see though is microtransactions fucking die.
Yep, that was going to be actually something that I was going to say too.
It's not
that's-
gonna happen.
Luck. Good
That
fucking
It's not
absolutely
gonna
is
happen.
ruining gaming.
Yeah.
Microtransactions
What is that?
are one of the plagues.
So-
it's basically like,
Hey,
Oh,
you
you
know,
want
you
this
suck at this
add-on?
game right now. Hey, you want like 5,000
You want a
gold.
booster?
You need
Oh,
$5. You give me $5, I
See,
give you 2,000
and like,
gold.
and that's
now
I
why
would rather
Not so
pay
hard.
$60 for a game than
Right.
to have a free-to-play game with microtransactions. Easily
Yeah.
would rather pay $60. I like Overwatch
Oh, yeah.
only because the microtransactions are only skins. I'm
And
okay.
what's
that.
interesting about Overwatch is Overwatch kind of made it okay to have them in games.
Yeah,
They-
as
they-
long
yeah.
as it's not game, like it doesn't alter the gameplay. As long as it
I-
only alters the
Doesn't
graphics.
I
mess with the
disagree.
mechanics. If it
I
doesn't
disagree.
mess with the mechanics, I don't care.
And the reason is because
we
it's
hate
a
pay
fucking
to win.
it's fucking gambling. The loot boxes specifically
Oh yeah,
are
fuck loot boxes.
even worse
of
than
any kind.
microtransactions. That's
Yeah.
fucking gambling.
Oh yeah,
but-
because you don't know what you're getting. Like,
You're paying real money and getting a prize. That's fucking gambling. And I don't know how it's exactly.
Jesus, man.
I don't know how it's not a bigger deal.
I may have had that ready to go for microtransaction because I
Something.
knew Cody was going to be on this podcast.
It wasn't even me that brought it up. I
That's
can throw
true.
pot
As a
in the air,
For
but it's
free to
less-
play, I really don't have a problem with it. But I think if you're talking about, there are people out there who are very susceptible to shit like that. And
Oh,
that's
God.
not good.
And they're
Kids.
all
It's
of our
not-
grandparents. They're
It's
our
children.
Oh my
parents.
God.
And there are
Or
kids.
just someone who's addicted to shit. Or fear of missing
Yeah.
out, the FOMO shit. Like,
FOMO.
This brings us to a different topic, though. Like, I disagree with getting rid of loot boxes just for that reason. But that brings us to a protecting.
there are
you from
people who are
yourself
susceptible,
episode thing.
but that's not protecting you from yourself. Because everyone here, as far as I know, are not susceptible to that.
Oh, yes, I
But
am.
there are people.
Absolutely.
Well, there you go.
I mean, Cody and I's Star Citizen accounts.
I was gonna say your Star Citizen accounts say something completely different, boys. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Okay,
my
pause.
biggest complaint,
Pause.
my biggest complaint about gaming today probably is affected by this topic,
Okay,
which we'll
real
get into
quick.
later on.
Okay.
You don't have to give an actual amount, but give a ballpark figure. Cody, how much are you into Star Citizen?
I'm gonna say 2 ETH.
So
Holy shit.
give me a second,
Yep.
because I am going to translate that for our listeners and our visual accompanier. 2
Now, okay,
ETH
granted,
would be
that-
like
that
$3,300 in ETH.
Wow.
So that's $6,600.
Now, granted, I will say that is a subscription for like 5 years.
Okay.
Actually, longer than that.
We're not counting subscriptions.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't
It's
matter.
straight
The
totaled
store
into it.
counts it.
Yeah,
It
fair enough,
counts
fair
it
enough.
on there.
Okay.
And
Fair enough.
also T-shirts, lots like a bunch of different merchandise.
And you went to
That I got
CitizenCon,
with it.
right?
Yeah, I went to CitizenCon
Yep.
with him,
Yep.
and that the CitizenCon does not actually count towards it because Star Citizen doesn't keep track of your plane ticket. Although the plane ticket was free.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so that when you say $6,000 for a game, that sounds crazy. Until you go, okay, how much did you spend on World of Warcraft over 10 years? And
Yeah.
it's not going to be quite close to that, but it's going to be if you start adding merchandise and stuff to that.
Okay.
It's
I will say a quick thing on World of Warcraft. That is a complete game. That is a game that is fully released.
true.
And I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
Star
Yeah.
Citizen. I love
Star
Star
Citizen
Citizen.
is a
or
game.
1 hour and 10 minutes, and shots are fired.
I'm just
okay.
saying.
So, the thing about Star Citizen is it is the game that I have wanted since I was
Yes.
walking down the street with Jacob Spallinger by North Star Elementary in 1999, and I remember the day, and I was like, what happens if you had a space sim but you were in first person and it was a
Yeah.
first person world? So
Okay. All right.
I am
so pause
putting
a
my
second.
money where my mouth is on
Fair
that
enough.
one.
Brandon, same question. How much?
About 4,000.
Colton.
$100.
Tim.
I don't think I've ever spent
Oh God,
extra that I can.
Tim.
You
I
have
can
you have
think
not
about.
been suckling on the teat that is Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Have we never showed Tim Star Citizen?
$69.
I don't know.
Nice.
Ah, nice.
Okay.
Nice.
So, all right. That's where I'm gonna stop with the play to win conversation, because you lose, both of you.
I mean, to be
I
fair,
have
it's not
spent
exactly
probably
the same thing.
I have spent probably $100 on mobile games or other, like, hey, you're out of energy, you want to play some more? And you're like, fuck it, I'm playing a lot of this
Candy
game
Crush.
right now, and not Candy Crush, like trains, like.
But the difference is with your mobile game, like you like to say about Star Citizen, is your mobile game is complete already from probably a big developer like PopCap or something like that, where Star Citizen actually is. You want to talk. I know you and Colton love to talk about the evils of capitalism. So in essence, Brandon and I are making it less evil.
It is
Yeah,
crowdsourcing for a
except
game,
the AAA, all that shit
Yeah.
we hate about AAA gaming, microtransactions, loot boxes, are mobile game based. So it's all fucking evil in the end.
Okay.
That's why we want to get rid of it. That's why it should all go away. If you pay for a product, it should, whatever.
Okay.
That's a different thing.
So to answer your question, is my most anticipated game or games, my wish list, as it were, KSP 2, Kerbal Space Program 2. Love it. I am very excited for it. Halo Infinite, already mentioned it. On my wish list right now is Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm still not willing to pay $60 for it. I'm going to wait until it comes down a little bit.
Okay. Do you have Xbox?
I don't have Xbox
Unlimited?
Live. I don't.
Okay. So if you get Xbox Unlimited, you get Microsoft Flight for free. Like you have to say subscribed to it, but you get to play it.
So it's not unlimited. I have to continue paying for it. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
With 100 extra other
Yeah.
games that change.
now-
I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of weird.
That's my wish list items, but like, let's talking like real most anticipated or what we want the most. I want a VR experience where I feel like I'm there, where I smell like I'm there, where I
Yes.
breathe like I'm there. But let's be real. Unless I'm in a vat of goo and I've got a jack into the back of my skull, ergo episode 30, I'm not going to get that experience.
Yeah, but we're getting closer to
Holodeck.
it. Like, honestly, there's some things that are getting closer to it, like AMBX, fans. There was actually even a company offering like different like vials and smell receptor stuff. Like,
There
Yeah.
there was a company out there
they're
several
Well, I mean,
years
it's in
back
its
that
infancy,
did that.
but-
It's in the infancy. It's
it's-
like, okay, even, taking the smell vials into account. Like, say you've got 10 of those. Congratulations, you can be 10 places.
Yeah.
But, like,
no, it's the combination of the
Yeah.
10. That's the
all right,
difference.
So I can be 100 places.
And you need pain receptors, little tasers all over you.
I don't want to feel
Yeah.
pain. That's the thing I never want in a goddamn game. I don't want to feel pain in the fucking game.
Yeah, you can feel the shots.
Okay.
I'd be okay with
no.
like
No.
hard pinch.
when you
Like
put like
that
a
level.
shot collar and you put it on your
Hey.
finger and you like
We
test it out.
have a training device called a shock knife to train you
Yeah.
against
not
against
wanna
knife
get stabbed,
knife
yes.
attacks. Yeah.
That's how,
and
that's
if,
how
it,
that
and if it
works.
touches you,
Oh, you don't want to get stabbed.
It
Stab.
feels
stab.
like a cutting.
I
if it
feel like
touches
I,
you, you get
I
like
don't
you get
need
like a
that
cutting
to,
pain.
to
So
let,
we could have like
I don't
a
need the
shirt to
proof.
put on
I
like
don't,
that.
it sounds
Yeah.
terrible in itself.
Yeah.
That's just me. Oh, it turns out the stove is hot. Who'd have thunk it?
Okay.
All I can offer.
Who
on
has
this
not
question,
answered
if we
the
can move
most
on.
anticipated question?
I'm pretty much the same as you.
I
as
haven't
you guys.
anticipated.
I haven't
Oh.
really answered it.
Go Tim.
Okay. Oh, we don't want to we're getting a little long here, aren't we?
No,
Oh,
that's
it's fine.
okay. It's
That's
a season
fine.
finale.
It's a discussion.
so,
Oh, okay.
We're
yeah.
gonna be gone for 2 weeks.
I'm pretty much
Never gonna see each other.
The same. I haven't finished Half-Life Alyx because I don't have a VR yet, but I will be getting it.
Cody. Why
But-
did you?
I gave him his cocaine and then I took it away.
Yeah, you gave him his first 2 hits
The
and then
first
you left.
hit's
Yeah.
free.
Yeah, but
I bet his wife hates you, by the way.
No, that's where I hope it continues. Is better VR titles, even with the current. If we could have more games like Half-Life Alyx, and so on. I mean, I'm just looking forward to that because I don't want to buy a VR and then not have very many games that I like to play.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
man.
true.
Kind of concerns me. Spend all that money.
And I mean,
on
there's-
Okay. VTOL
There's
VR.
a couple of games out right now.
You wanted VTOL. You wanted a flight sim VR, and VTOL
Yeah,
VR is
shoulder
that,
check.
and it is so
okay.
fucking good. Beat Saber.
So
Cody was using that
Beat Saber's good.
as like
He's
a,
played it. He's played via
Okay.
Beat Saber.
and then Star
not
Trek
bad.
VR,
No
Bridge
Man's-
Commander. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
No man's
Okay.
sky.
No
Let's
Man's
let
Sky.
Brandon talk for a second.
No Man's Sky in VR is life changing. Like if you've played that game, if you play it in VR, you will only from that point want to play it in VR. It is so good.
What type of game is that? What?
It's
No Man's Sky.
I mean, it's survival, but it's space exploration, different planets. There's a storyline, which is actually pretty good. The survival feels kind of... It's more like Subnautica in its survival aspects. Like... No, Cody? You don't like the inventory management system, though. You are an inventory Nazi.
yes, he is.
Inventory stuff.
I'm sorry. But
I really
I've
like
made
that
my
game
peace with
in
No Man's
VR.
Sky. I can enjoy it finally. I can enjoy No Man's Sky, but it is not like equating it to Subnautica is like equating a Jello
Okay.
cheesecake.
That's
to,
personal preference.
Okay.
But in VR, both of them
I
together,
do-
like Subnautica would be cool
Okay,
VR.
VR, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Subnautica
it
VR
is.
is
I
good.
will say this, Tim. It is good in VR. It is. Like, the one thing, though, is transitioning from, like, if you're standing and playing that game, and then you transition to flight, it has the weird, you're going to have motion sickness.
Yeah.
So, when I play VR games, I don't stand. I can't do it unless like I put down like a bath mat or something where I can find the edge and know where I'm at positionally, because the second I flip up the goggles and I'm not where I think I
You
am,
feel drunk.
that is the moment where I'm just like, ugh.
That's normal. That's normal for the first, like, probably 20 times you play VR to have that. And then, like, when you touch things, to like, it's a weird sensation when you touch things in real life after being in VR for a while, and to feel like this weird surrealness. That's normal. That's a normal VR sickness thing. But you get over it after about 20 times.
Yeah. Either way, I play seated. It's more comfortable. It's, you know, I still end up with like something in front of me that's a different texture on my feet, so that I know when I spin around, where I'm at positionally. Because, there are games that, No Man's Sky is a perfect example. If you want to go in a direction, you have to point that direction, no matter where you're trying to go. And then, so if you're going that direction for a while, like, you'll be pointed backwards from your computer. But then, sitting down into a cockpit isn't a problem because you're already seated. You can grab the controls and it's fine. But I also don't have a very
seated.
large space.
So,
Like,
yeah,
I wish I had a
shorten
10
what
by
Brandon's
10
saying.
room.
Yeah, to shorten what Brandon's saying is play it seated for
Yep.
No Man's Sky. And it is as much as I have certain issues with the game, the VR experience in it is good. I would recommend
It's very
it.
good. Yep.
Good.
So kind of goes into what, because I haven't really said anything either yet. It kind of goes into what I want to see. It is VR related. Obviously, I want more VR experiences. I want more AAA developers to actually build a game with VR in mind. Hence, Valve and Half-Life Alyx. It can be done, and people will fucking play it. But in combination with that, and I think this is how you get VR to be more, I guess, industry-wide accepted, is we've mentioned multiple games that were originally traditional games, Skyrim, Minecraft, No Man's Sky, but they added a VR element to it afterwards.
Yeah.
I think instead of like Skyrim, and that's the fucking example I'm going to use, releasing yet another fucking, even though they've already released a VR
edition.
instead of these games releasing
Special
the same fucking
edition.
game, the same fucking game on different console generations, they should all be moving towards a VR element, in my opinion. I think as coding gets better, people get better with coding in general. I think these newer games are gonna be, if they're smart, they're gonna be able to have a continuous revenue source for future. Because I'd fucking buy Skyrim. I haven't, but it's a game I would buy again if it was just a VR mode. I'd pay for it again. Star Wars Rogue Squadron or whatever the heck that game. It has a whole VR mode, even though the game's fucking dead because they fucked it up. But it can be perfectly played as a normal game, but you can still play it in a VR mode and changes the entire experience. And that's, to me, where all these newer games, that's where they should be moving towards, if it makes sense from a VR perspective.
Well, and so, like, there are examples of companies that are doing that. Like, Star Citizen has said, we will do VR, but it's not going to be on initial implementation.
And it kind of has been on and off, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
About Star Citizen, we have to come to terms that my oldest daughter will be in college before Squadron 42 releases.
Yeah. Well, my son will be in college before it releases.
I mean, here's the thing is, like, I have other things to play. I have other things to do. I'm happy living where I am. I have things when it releases. That's fine. I'm not too worried
If
about
it releases.
And it
I'm
will.
not worried about that. I've
Yeah.
heard enough insider stuff on that part
They-
doesn't concern me.
We
We
could
could
have
have
a
a
whole
whole
conversation.
episode.
No, I was gonna say
about
that's a
Star
whole nother
We
Citizen.
could.
episode. We could have.
Okay, I'm
Pre-order
calling
and
it.
shit.
Next
The open
next
access.
discussion. The next discussion episode is about Star Citizen.
Well, Star Citizen should play a big part, but I would say early access games.
Okay. Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Fair.
Yep. I'm writing it in the
Yeah.
back end TWIL things. TWIL ideas. Game topic.
Tim, did you have
Next.
anything you wanted to add for future? I don't think you actually
I did.
officially
Yeah.
went.
No, yeah, I did.
Yeah, the VR with
Oh, that's right. That's right.
physical experience.
Yeah.
And what I would like to see is, like we've touched on already, and less pay to win aspects of games. I have finally found a mobile game that I enjoy playing, Stardew Valley, and it has absolutely no pay to win aspects. You cringe. I
It's-
cringed too when my coworker
No, I
was
didn't
all
know it
excited
was.
about it.
I didn't know it was a mobile game. I thought it was just a PC game.
No, it's
I guess
available
It's
it's
on
on a bunch of
I
PC
guess
different
it's-
and
platforms.
mobile.
I guess it's on everything. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's actually been enjoyable. I thought it was going to be Farmville. It's more than that. I have not once been subjected to a screen that says, "Oh, you want another pickaxe? Pay more for that." So that I've thoroughly enjoyed that. I want to see gaming go less towards microtransactions, less towards subscriptions, towards and I guess this is me being 60 and like, or 80 or something, and being like, "Get off my lawn" with my cane or whatever. But I enjoy paying for a game once and being able to own that game and get that experience from it. I like the full versions, the full single player experience. I want to see more co-op. More true co-op
Yep.
in games.
I agree. 100%
Playing
what I
on
mean
through
by
the single
co-op-
player.
Yeah, I
Playing
don't
through
mean
the single player campaign with another person.
Yeah.
Not
Exactly.
Yeah.
multiplayer
not
bullshit.
Yeah.
not
Halo 2.
Elder
They're getting
Scrolls
so-
Online.
That
Not
goes on to
Elder-
my next thought. They're getting so short on the single player portion of the games these days.
Yep.
They're making it so short.
And not everybody
And-
wants a competitive game. Like, here's the thing. Is I think there's a lot of
I hate
20-year-olds
competitive games.
that love those competitive games.
Yeah.
I still like one once in a while.
bad at them.
I am.
I
I
know.
freely admit. I played
Sorry.
my first
That's-
playthrough on Knights of the Old Republic and Mass Effect on easy mode. Because I wanted to play for the storyline, and then after I enjoyed the storyline, it's like I want to experience that again. But let's try a little harder. Let's ramp up the challenge. Easy is an okay thing to play through. Don't feel
Yes.
bad if you have to play through
No.
on easy mode.
None of
I-
this
I
get
agree.
good bullshit.
And also, like, the thing about competitive that people just forget in their head is, in order for you to be against other players, one person has to lose at least 50% of the time.
Yep.
So, like, unless you are really good at an online game, then it's not going to be as fun for you. And that's going to be as simple as it is. And a lot of people will go, "Oh, you just suck at the game." Maybe that's the case. But maybe that's not what everybody wants.
But this
So-
is my complaint later on: is the starting point. If you've gone from a world where you did, single player games, and then you finally jump into multiplayer games, and people have been doing it for years, the starting point is way up there,
Don't get back
And
into
that's-
original Unreal Tournament.
and that
Even me, who
that's-
was
I
a
find
master
is-
at it, I can't play it anymore.
I find it so frustrating that I try it for a little bit and then I just forget about multiplayer games.
Now,
And that's
some
why-
games do it well. Overwatch, I would say, does it pretty well with,
Yep.
being able to let new players play with other new players in the game and them to feel successful because they're playing against people that actually are their own skill until they come up with Smurfs and that nonsense.
and it's just complete chaos. Some of these games, there's like no strategy, really. I mean, I like the Tom Clancy games, but you get into the multiplayer, it just seems like complete nonsense.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
So we are at an hour and 30.
Okay.
I would say we still have.
I would say that we mentioned some honorable mention games, and then close with our favorite gaming moment.
Yeah, I would agree. Favorite game
And our pluggables at the same time. Yes, I like that.
Yep. Okay.
Tim, go first.
All right, I'll go first.
Don't all talk at once. Jesus Christ.
It's like, who's gonna be the host?
What's
on
your
this
favorite
one?
gaming moment, Tim?
Well, I think I actually mentioned it. I thought that we did that in the beginning. To tell you the truth, it's my Dungeons and Dragons time.
Okay.
Your
Not
first
a
experience
computer
with
game,
Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah. That whole period of time.
You never forget
for about
your
a year
first.
and a half.
I'll go
Always
next.
special.
My favorite gaming moment was the very first time I played PUBG. The very first time I was playing solos, 64 players, and somehow I got the winner chicken dinner. I don't know how, but
Nice.
the very first game I played PUBG, I got winner. And
Damn.
I can count on one hand how many times I've played PUBG since. But it was that moment was fantastic. I gotta say, honorable mentions for favorite games of all time, like Stellaris, Homeworld, 0K, Supreme Commander,
Homeworld.
Age of
Commander.
Empires, Dawn of War,
Oh God.
Total
Age of
War,
Empires.
the game that's behind me
this-
right now, which is Hearts of Iron.
There's a lot of fucking games out there,
Fan-fucking-tastic
boys.
game. Bannerlord, Jedi Academy, Skyrim, Arma, Fallout, all the Tom Clancy games, Escape Velocity. Cody, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you for Escape Velocity. It's one of my favorite games of all times.
One of the two
Hey.
Mac games that I actually wanted a Mac for. And if everybody knows, Mac and Apple are dirty words to me.
So I have a game for you. It's called Endless Sky, which is the new in development indie version of Escape Velocity. It's fantastic.
Have it.
And
Yep.
Yeah.
RimWorld. Oh my God. Civ
Yep.
And it's got
5,
a
Civ anything,
multiplayer
Civilization anything, XCOM.
Civilization.
And I'm going to throw out my hours, okay? The most hours I've played on any game ever. Hearts of Iron, 1,145 hours. RimWorld, 1,077. Prisoner Architect, which I didn't even list, is 867. Stellaris, 732. Endless Sky, 236. And then I have 28 games total that I've played over 100 hours. And that's not counting anything Blizzard. So, like, I white girl can't even right now. Okay? And because this has been a very light episode, so you're going to have to take this one. But what do you call when a midget waves at you? A
midget?
microwave.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
'Kay.
Jesus.
All right,
dude.
and now I'm going to hand the torch off. Whoever is ready, go next.
Shit, I'll go next. So, World of Warcraft. It's used to be a pretty popular game. Lately it has been kind of fallen apart. And I haven't really played the game in probably 4 years or so. But when I was really into it, this was my favorite expansion, the Mists of Pandaria expansion. And this is kind of when they increased the graphic quality, everything just they changed how they did stories a little bit, got a little more interactive. So just like any other MMO, there are mounts in this game, and mounts make it easier to travel across the world faster, blah, blah, blah. You can show them off, show how great of a person you are and whatever, blah, 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 whatever. So normally, at least from what I understood about this game back then, when you got a mount, you either paid for it with in-game currency that you earned through quests and shit like that, or they were dropped from like high-level raid bosses. But in this particular expansion, they added, I think they're called dragons. I could be wrong. And my favorite gaming experience of all time, first off, the Mists of Pandaria, what do you call it? Expansion, basically has a very big Asian influence. You can kind of tell a little bit. Beautiful music, beautiful colors, like cherry blossoms everywhere. That kind of aesthetic. So there's a quest line you could do, and I think everyone does it, but I could be wrong. You go to this area and you basically find these tiny little dragons. You find these eggs actually specifically, and you go grab an egg. You bring it to a person or whatever, and essentially you watch it hatch. So now you have this tiny little dragon. And then you go and do other things for a little bit, and eventually you're asked to come back, and your dragon has gotten a little bigger, and essentially you from what I remember, you basically start training it for whatever reason, just because they, harmony with nature and all that kind of stuff. And then eventually you get to the point where you go to this area and your dragon isn't there, but all of a sudden the camera goes all cinematic and points off to this beautiful landscape, like the Pandora from Avatar kind of look, misty mountains, beautiful giant cliffs, and all of a sudden there's kind of in the background this dragon starts flying to you, and it's fully grown, and we're talking like an Asian dragon, so it's colorful, it's got different colors all over, it's a very beautiful thing. And you find out that you actually get to keep it, and you get to ride it, and it becomes your mount for the rest of the game. And for some weird reason, that is the best moment, because this is over probably like a week or so, and not like I played it constantly, but you weirdly became this thing's friend, and all of a sudden you get this awesome dragon mount, you get to fly around, do all this cool stuff, and that's probably the best gaming moment of my entire life. Just the moment that camera moved over to that beautiful landscape. You just saw this creature. Yeah, it's so cool. I love it. Get goosebumps still thinking about it. So, yeah, that's mine.
Cody.
I would say the gaming moment that I reference most of the time, unfortunately, predates you guys as far as the LAN group.
It's okay.
We
accept
cheating on us.
I'm sorry.
I don't.
It was my friend Blake, my friend Ben Arnett, and me, and we were up just super late playing games. It was quiet in the room, and we were playing Far Cry, and like all night I had been murdering these guys. And finally my friend Ben gets the drop on me, kills me, and then 10 seconds later he's like, and so the hunted becomes the prey. and about 30 seconds later my friend Blake's just like, Ben, do you realize what you just said? And it's like, yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't notice.
Oh, I've heard that. I think I've heard that story 5 times now, and it still gets funnier every time.
It was just the epitome of the small LAN group, the camaraderie between the group of us. It symbolizes a lot for me, just the fun that we had back in the 90s, you know, with the picture of the guy duct taped to the ceiling with the keyboard at the LAN party, that type of thing. It could have been us. So,
I mean, are you saying it's better than me having ice packs for my iMac?
I mean, we've had a lot of fun, with Brandon bringing his Windows 98 computer to the LAN
that I custom painted right before the LAN, just so that it wasn't the beige box. And I was like, yes, I'm so proud of it. It's a 433 processor. It's the best computer I've ever owned. It runs Windows 98 2nd edition. And I took it there, and you guys were like, you, Cody, were just like, I fucking hate you. I fucking hate Windows 98. Why aren't you running XP? And it's like,
the networking was so much better in XP. And then,
look at the pretty colors.
The probe warfare that we had, where you then redeemed your, you won the probe warfare game in Homeworld because it was who could produce the most probes without crashing. first person with a dual core processor. Yeah, we just had so much fun in those early LAN days. So I gotta give it to that moment, which signifies those days.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, Brandon.
Well, damn, you kind of stole my thunder a little bit because
Oh,
Oh.
I thought you were
Homeworld.
gonna go with the
Hit me right in the
the
fucking
D&D
chest.
one.
Oh, I love Homeworld.
Okay, so it's not my happiest moment of gaming, but if you remember like one or two missions into Homeworld, after you complete the jump test and you come back and
Oh.
everything is destroyed and the music
Oh,
the
yeah, the
music
music
just
in that game.
hits you. And
Yeah.
like I remember actually like shedding tears jumping back into that system, having that music hit you, that cinematic pan around the destruction. And I just remember like feeling upset at the loss, feeling rage at the Raiders, and just like that was just such an impactful moment on me that a video game, something that is comprised of ones and zeros and displayed on a monitor, could hit me like that.
And that's why
Just
video games are art.
yeah,
Yep.
It can
absolutely. Um, and going to a funnier moment with this game. One of my favorite LAN party moments was with this game when we were all, God, I think there was what, 6 of us, and the game was just, it was an all-nighter. We started
Oh my god. I know what you're talking
like
about.
10 o'clock at night, maybe like 9 or 8, and everybody's like, yeah, we'd do another one, thinking that it's going to be a couple hours.
Real-time strategy games and we'll do another one. That's not
It
how you
never
end your
ends
night.
good. It just
Yeah,
never
no.
ends good.
No, it doesn't. And okay, I suck at strategy games. Like, terrible at strategy games. Because I can't do the micromanagement, like all the craziness that everybody else seems to be able to do. And so I always implement the cockroach tactic. How long can I survive before somebody finally finds me and crushes me? So I remember on this particular night dying pretty like late in because everybody was kind of leaving me alone. And I think at one point um, Blake had fallen asleep like on his keyboard, and just it was like early in the morning, and somebody came in and killed my home ship, my mothership. Well, I had a carrier like
Of course. And
3D
you can
space.
rebuild stuff out of your carrier too. Not as
Yeah,
big stuff, but you can
You
build
weren't
No.
dead
small
yet.
stuff out of your.
You were not dead yet.
but I
Yeah.
wasn't dead yet. And I mean, the thing was, is everybody kind of got into the con issue where everybody was thinking, like, plus or minus a little bit on the initial pain from where you start. And I was like, as high as you could go, as far back as you could
Mm.
go, and just producing ion frigates like crazy. And
You were walking around the LAN party like,
oh
good
yeah,
game. Like, yeah,
good
because
game. You
it
guys killed
became,
me.
yeah, it became a game of like everybody like trying to attack me for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, using mines around
I'll
my
be right back.
mothership. Uh,
Okay.
yeah,
And
I
just
remember this. Oh my
and it was
god.
just insanity. Like I still had shit building. I had a build queue like as far out as I could make it, and would keep going back and like pretending that I was like looking at
Searching on the
websites and
internet.
shit,
Yeah, yeah.
and would alt tab out of the game and leave it on like a website, and would go around and like talk to people
Yeah,
and
not trying to look at people's screens, just trying
no, no,
to,
no, 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 just
yeah,
wasting
yeah,
time and being like, oh, I'm totally dead, guys. Look at me. So I suck. I suck so bad.
yeah.
And then I remember like telling Jesse, it's like, hey, Jesse, I'm not dead. And she was like, let's attack Cody. And I remember warping in like hundreds of ion frigates and just being like, bah!
This is after I'd like repelled like every attack
Everyone
at me
else.
for the attack game, and I was like, all right, things are looking up. Like after, and then I'm just seeing like all of these little like ships coming after me. Like, what the hell? Where? Who? Where did? Because I knew Jesse couldn't have produced that, and then
Right.
like looking, can't.
You motherfucker!
Yep.
That I don't wear is off to you for that.
So one other just quick gaming moment is the game that could have never ended. Hegemonia.
Oh God.
Fuck that game. That game was basically Dracanis decides how long you play.
Yep. Because I realized, so this was another real-time strategy game, kind of space-based.
Less popular, more
way
broken.
less popular, way more broken.
And
And
yet,
you
I think
could
we all owned it
create-
except for Tim.
Probably.
No,
Well,
Colton didn't?
Colton
it's
did.
before
Okay, the
Colton.
top
No.
row.
I wasn't part. I wasn't
Got
part
it.
of the group at that point.
Yep. No, it's a
Another
good
one
choice.
of
those.
You were shielded from therapy later.
Oh, it wasn't that bad. I mean,
Finish saying what you're
hours.
saying.
We had a game
Yep.
going 13 hours.
yep.
Brandon.
So there was wormholes that you'd have to travel through to get to different systems. And there was a ship that you could make that would block the wormhole for like 2 minutes or 5 minutes. I
And it
don't
would
remember.
degrade. The health would
Yeah,
degrade.
it degraded. Well, if you built a space station above it and
It could
built
repair
repair
ships.
bays in the space station and you had it close enough, it would actually repair it, and it just became it was a broken feature that was actually patched in the Legions of the Iron expansion.
For good reason.
But oh, totally. It was an asshole move, and I did it one time and made the game
13
last
hours.
That's half a
that
day
long.
he will never get
that
back.
long. Yeah,
He
okay.
may not
Now
be
here's
good at
the thing.
RTS games, but
Here's the thing, though. Like, at any point, you could have just been like, fuck this game and quit. But no. What do? You're like, I'm going to find a way to win. And you just kept building shit. And, like, I don't remember why, but at one point I was like, I'm going to drop it and, like, drop some ships in because I thought I had a fleet going. And you snuck in a spy. And I think that's how you eventually won the game, is, like, your spy disabled something and the
Yeah.
wormhole came open, and then just the floodgates of like your like max population, max upgraded, max ships just came in, and we're like, yep.
Speaking of going on for a long time, I've got to go. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I can't wait to the end.
all right.
Well,
Fair
plug
enough.
your stuff real
We
quick.
are
Plug
gonna
your
Tim,
stuff. Plug your stuff.
Plug your stuff, and we're done.
Oh, it's just YouTube, Our Thai Journey, and the same on Instagram. But I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Bye.
Tim,
Bye.
thanks for
Bye,
joining
Tim.
us.
Colton.
Seeker4761, also known as Colton Roper. Maybe not in that particular order, but could be that for now. Let's see here. That is Seeker4761 in most things. I try to stream pretty consistently throughout the week, and also a contributor to the techpirate.net. Cody.
I am Cody Stratman, otherwise known as Zito Valder. I am on places, and I drink a lot, so I don't particularly remember where I am. But I'm on Instagram. I think it's Zito Valder. I'm on, It's sleepy time, but unfortunately not for me. Again, 11 a.m. Somebody else, please
Charlie.
save me.
I am Charlie Stiffler, also known as Milnar, spelled wrong, so I always get it right. You can find me on YouTube and Twitch. I have not been there recently, but I will be there soon. I predict about 2 weeks, and then things get better. The event season is almost over. I get to see my wife and children a little bit more, which means that I'll actually have some free time. Brandon, finish us off, please.
All right. I am Brandon Vader, also known as Dracanis. I am B Vader 86 most places. Contributor to, owner of thetechpirate.net.
That's called a
contributor
flex, folks.
sometimes. Yeah.
He's the owner. He contributes sometimes.
I will be doing a review on the Galaxy Pen Fold. I still have the Lenovo headset that I am actually actively writing on for the first time in fucking months. Writing something. So yeah, visit thetechpirate.net and yeah. We'll see you all later. Let me find the outro. There's the outro. Thanks for joining us on this episode of This Week I'm Learning. You can find us on wherever you listen to podcasts, as well as on YouTube at This Week I'm Learning. For your social media peeps out there, you can find us on Twitter at ThisTWIL. If you'd like to contact us, you can, of course, send an email to twil@thetechpirate.net. See you all next weekend.
Not next week.
Or no.
Oh,
no.
taking
2
breaks.
weeks off.
2 weeks
2
off.
weeks off. We will see
End
you
of the season.
I gotta move to Bangkok.
There you go.
Don't go through the airport turnstile sideways.
2-3 weeks. Bye.
So when I went to the Samsung repair store, they actually had one of those and one of the Fold Z, the other Fold. As
The
Yeah, I
flip.
saw it the other day.
Yeah,
I like the other
The
one.
flip and the fold.
I like the flip.
Yeah,
cool.
I think that's too small for Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if I'm going to risk having a folding screen, which adds a level of complexity, it's going to be to add features rather than just change form factors.
Yeah.
All right.
So, and I've seen enough leaks about the Duo 2 that I've seen how they've handled the software on the Duo, and I figure Samsung's a better way to go.
You'll
My
have fun.
only complaint is the standalone pen, because I'm transitioning from my Note 10, which has the built-in stylus.
Right.
There is stylus support on the Fold 3, only on the inside screen, and you have to carry an extra pen or use their stupid flappy case bullshit. But I did get a free pair of the new Buds 2. So, and I got $1,000 trade-in on a phone that AT&T sent me for free.
Wow.
Yes,
Okay.
you and your Surface Pro or your iPad Pro. Yeah, mine doesn't magnet to the side. That's like the one bad thing is like the Duo at least magneted to the Slim Pin would magnet to the side of it. But
Aww.
So the first thing you're
I
gonna
have
lose is
had
your pen.
this. I'm probably just gonna put it in my laptop bag because let's be honest, if
Yeah.
I'm sitting somewhere for long enough to want the pen, I'm gonna have my laptop with me anyway.
Or you'll plan ahead
So,
and you'll have it in your pocket or something.
yeah, exactly. Like I just got the pen in tonight. I've been using the Fold 3 since Friday. I fucking love it. The pin makes it better when you're like sitting down to, scroll through news. I was actually researching articles for tonight on it. At
Forgetting that we're not doing our own.
discussion and drinking episode, yeah.